Gentlemen, you had your instructions earlier. You know what I expect. A good, clean fight. Just obey my commands and protect yourself at all times.
The movement of Roger Gutiérrez. He said he was far too stationary a target in that first fight. Said he plans to move a lot more in this fight.
Gutiérrez from Venezuela in the purple trunks. Alvarado from Nicaragua wearing the blue and white. Gutiérrez said in their first fight that he broke his hand in the second round and that he just couldn't get the job done. Tonight, he's fresh, he's healthy, he's full of confidence. Sergio, you went out on a very big limb by calling this the fight of the year.
Well, we're only 2 days in.
Oh, now you're stealing my line, huh? If this holds up for 363 days, kudos to you. No one's landed a punch yet, by the way.
No, look, it's because it's a rematch. It's because they're so heavy-handed. Both of them only go one way. The writing's on the wall, like I said.
Already boos.
Oh
the
my
fight
God.
of the year is being booed out of the building. 1 minute in. Boy, these fans are
high expectations here in Dallas, I'm telling you.
Well, they saw what Rene's twin brother did a few minutes ago. They expected the same out of Rene. It'll come. Plenty of time to get there. 12 rounds for the WBA super featherweight title. Nice snapping straight right hand from Alvarado.
Yeah, Alvarado has the longer reach, even though he's 2.5 inches shorter. And there's a fallacy that usually the shorter fighter can out-jab the taller fighter. It's all about timing and getting that front foot in the door. If you can do that and spring from a low position, jabbing up, you can have success.
Good body shot for Alvarado, who spent 2.5 months training in Las Vegas for this fight.
It's amazing the difference one fight can make. I mean, before the fight with Andrew Cancio, if Alvarado had lost, the chances were he would have been cut by Golden Boy, and who knows where he would have landed up. Now, he wins that fight. He's a world champion. He's a co-main event in a fight like this.
And Cancio got cut, right?
Correct.
It is not a kind business at times.
Gutiérrez was looking for that counter right hand. Just came up short. It looks like they're different weight classes. I mean, Gutiérrez is taller and it looks a lot bigger, wider from the shoulders.
Looks a weight class bigger, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That stung him. And again, how about this close to round one for Roger Gutiérrez? Look at the kid go, and they're opening it up now. Final seconds of round one.
And that's what I expected. Get ready for Gutiérrez buckling Alvarado with a right hand, and Alvarado coming right back with a right hand of his own.
Gutiérrez fighting for a bigger purpose tonight. Recently lost his mother to cancer. That was in November, and here he is in the ring now, and he said, "It's my debt to my mother. I owe it to her to bring the world title back to Venezuela in her memory." That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. Fantastic finish to round one. Let's see what they have in store for us here in the second frame. Oh, nice counter right hand for Alvarado.
Gutiérrez keeping that chin up a little bit too high.
Chris, what was the difference in the Alvarado fight against Cancio?
Well, I mean, I think Alvarado was the more aggressive fighter in that fight, and his shots were just so clean. Some of that was on Cancio. He didn't look like the same fighter in that fight that beat Alberto Machado a couple of times. But Alvarado took the fight to him and landed clean to the point where, the last couple of rounds, Cancio's corner was saying, I'm going to give you only one more, or we're going to stop this. So his aggression was the key to that fight.
Is that the key to this fight, Sergio?
Aggression's the only key for both these fighters. But right now, it's Gutiérrez fighting a little bit more patient. Alvarado's coming in, throwing some nice shots in the inside, but I like the way Gutiérrez is staying disciplined behind a long jab.
Alvarado coming in on an 8-fight winning streak. He hasn't lost since 2017 when Yuriokis Gamboa beat him. As for Gutierrez, he changed his career fortunes in July of 2019 when he knocked out Eduardo Rocky Hernandez in the first round. Hernandez considered by many to be a can't-miss prospect. Nice uppercut and a straight left there for Gutierrez.
Gutierrez is heavy-handed. His resume isn't rich with a lot of top names. He's got 20 knockouts, and Alvarado learned in the first fight what kind of power Gutierrez has. In that first round, he certainly learned in the closing seconds that power is still there.
Uppercut from Gutierrez, who's been fighting backwards most of this round.
Yeah, Gutierrez told us that, he was always looking for the knockout. And when it comes to beating a fighter like Alvarado, it's not the power that's going to get him. It's going to be more, getting on the angle and using speed, just like Yoroki Gamboa was able to do and Jojo Diaz.
And again, forward comes Alvarado at the end of the round, trying to win the final 10 seconds. Round 3, scheduled for 12, 130-pound division. Alvarado, the champ, in the white and blue trunks, white gloves. Gutierrez fighting in the memory of his mother, who just lost her battle with cancer in November. It's a rematch from 2017, a fight Alvarado won after Gutierrez broke his hand in the... Oh, nice uppercut, and that sends Alvarado down! A stunning right uppercut!
And Alvarado's hurt. He didn't see that uppercut come from the bottom like that.
Come to me.
He doesn't look good. He does not look good. Gutierrez, left, straight, right. Are we about to see a new world champion crowned in Dallas, Texas? Here comes the kid, Gutierrez. Backed him up again. He's down for the second time.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's code red time for René Alvarado. Can't get dropped again. A minute 40 to go here in round 2. Gutierrez swinging wildly, trying to back Gutierrez off him a little bit.
If you're Gutierrez, you've got to keep looking for that uppercut.
The foundation appears to be gone. An uppercut, he's stumbling around again.
I love the patience being shown by Gutierrez right here, looking for the clean shot.
The referee taking a good look. It seems like Alvarado, though, still has his wits. His body just isn't cooperating.
It's only going to take one more big punch for Gutierrez. Alvarado has the wits, but right now he's lacking the hits.
You can never count out Alvarado, though. 20 knockouts in his 31 wins. Plenty of power himself.
Gutierrez might have punched himself out a little bit there in those first 2 minutes.
Watch your heads, guys.
He just got caught with the left hook. There's another one. And now Alvarado.
Gutierrez is looking for that same right uppercut. It's not going to land anymore. Alvarado already felt that. See, he's doing it again.
And he got caught with a whipping right hand from Alvarado.
Because that's a dangerous punch to throw as a lead punch, a straight right uppercut.
Blood trickling down the face now of Gutierrez. And out comes the mouthpiece.
That right uppercut is very dangerous to throw as a taller fighter, especially if you keep throwing it over and over. You're bound to get caught.
And I think Chris may be onto something. Gutierrez seemed to appreciate those few seconds to collect himself. So we will head to round 4. 2 knockdowns for Roger Gut.
The new year, I should have said, all over it.
And for somebody who was just dropped down convincingly in a round twice, René Alvarado seems pretty fresh. Round 4 scheduled for 12 for the WBA super featherweight title.
Alvarado does have those 8 losses. but he's only been stopped in one of them, so he knows how to go the distance even after being hurt.
In a fight that he avenged, so he knows how to react like a champion. And right now, his eyes look really clear to me. I like the way that he came out in this round. He looks like he rejuvenated, and he's not as hurt as he was in the last round.
It's kind of a fickle crowd out here, guys.
Yeah, there is.
Booing after a 2 knockdown round in the third. I mean, give these guys a break.
Well, it's like Gotti Ward 4, and they're throwing beer in the ring.
The first round went from jeers to cheers, and now we're going back to the boos.
They've been spoiled.
I want to see some more head movement by Gutiérrez. Alvarado coming on nicely. I mean, he was dropped, he was hurt, but this is a good round for Alvarado.
You got to wonder in the back of his mind if Gutiérrez isn't thinking, man, I gave him everything I had, and he's still standing in front of me.
It can definitely be discouraging.
Stop! Stop. And one thing, Sergio, I wondered coming into this fight was, for Roger Gutiérrez, does a beating like he took against Alvarado stick with you? I mean, it wasn't a one-punch knockout. It was a corner stoppage, but that was 7 rounds of just abuse that Alvarado put on him. Does that kind of memory linger with you after a fight like that?
No, of course, but Gutiérrez was landing his own shots too, and you know, the corner stopped the fight, and he has no problem with the corner stopping the fight, but he held his own, and now we're seeing a better version of Gutiérrez, a more disciplined version of Gutiérrez.
I don't know if he held his own.
They were going back and forth, Chris. I'm telling you, that was a good fight to watch. I mean, it was a one-sided fight, but they were going back and forth, landing big shots.
Do you have a one-sided fight and be back and forth?
You have a one-sided, exciting fight.
Well, to your point, Chris, to stick up for Sergio a little bit, you talked about how great Luke Campbell's performance was against Lomachenko. He lost by a wide margin on the scorecards, but that was a competitive fight.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
It showed durability. I mean, it wasn't competitive because it wasn't competitive. The scorecards were wide, and the 11th round featured a knockdown. You give him credit for hanging in, but that's about it.
This, of course, is our co-main event, which means, guess what? But right
Watch
now,
your heads.
we have a COVID capacity sellout, 6,000 fans, American Airlines Center. Good battle here between René Alvarado, who's been dropped twice, against Roger Gutiérrez from Venezuela.
That was a good round 4 for René Alvarado after all he went through, and he's starting off fast in his 5th round as well.
Good straight right for Gutiérrez. Oh, and another one. I should have said straight right from Alvarado, pardon me. But Gutiérrez does not look nearly as good as he did 2 rounds ago. The tables, as we mentioned earlier, have turned in this one.
Alvarado's eyes are clean, punching cleanly and putting the pressure on Gutiérrez.
Yeah, look at Gutierrez's face, blood streaming from his eyebrow, bruised. Good shoe shine and then downstairs. It feels like Alvarado's starting to find his form as this fight goes along. Easily blocking those punches, parrying them away.
Stop! Stop! No.
Power punches landed through round 4. Gutierrez 10 better than Alvarado. Overhand right.
Alvarado with a sneaky right uppercut on his
Watch
own
your heads.
in the inside.
Break!
I'll be interested to see what Chris Mannix's scorecard looks like after this. Of course, Gutierrez will most likely be in the lead considering he has 2 knockdowns. But Alvarado's done very well in the other rounds.
Gutierrez just missed with that same right uppercut.
Keep the punches up.
You think René fights like his brother?
They have the same mindset. There's similarities. Alvarado, I would say, puts a little bit more pressure, and he knows how to spring from a lower position, fight taller men better.
And Chris talked about this earlier. Alvarado's had a remarkable turnaround in his career. Rarely do we see fighters who enter gatekeeper territory with 8 losses come back and become world champions.
Box out.
And that's what René Alvarado has done, even though it looked very perilous for him earlier on when he was dropped twice in the same round.
Momentum has shifted, definitely shifted. Right now it looks it's all going Alvarado's way. Gutiérrez bloody, backing up.
Stop. Break.
Brilliant recovery by Alvarado. What a champion he is. He is not giving up that belt. He was so badly hurt and down by Gutiérrez in those early rounds, but he's really fought his way back into the battle. And Ricky Hatton sitting with me is just saying, what championship material. What a fight this is.
So that's Gareth Davies' scorecard, 48-45 for Gutiérrez. Chris Mannix doesn't get along with anybody. I have a feeling his scorecard will look a little different too. What say you, Chris?
Yeah, it's different, Todd. I didn't give Gutiérrez those early rounds like Gareth Davies did. Like anyone else, you score a 10-7 round with the 2 knockdowns in the third, but every other round on my scorecard I gave to René Alvarado. I thought in the first round, Gutiérrez had a great moment or moments in those last 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the round. But other than that, I feel like this fight's been controlled by the power shots of René Alvarado.
I could see what he means, but I still got to give credit to Gutiérrez, keeping him at the distance, fighting his fight, going backwards.
Well, no matter whose scorecard you tend to agree with, this fight very much hanging in the balance. We're in round 6, scheduled for 12. And what did you make of in the corner, Gutiérrez kind of refusing his corner to put the Q-tips in his nose to clear him out, kind of pushing the arm away when they tried to help him with his cut?
Have you ever had a Q-tip in your nose? Well, actually, you have the COVID. No, when you're trying, when you're trying to breathe heavy, that's the last thing you need. Also, another thing that's annoying is when you're trying to breathe through your mouth and they give you water. You choke on the water. So sometimes your cornerman needs to just let you breathe.
Glad you caught that, Sergio, since we've all had Q-tips in our noses for the last few weeks.
Yeah, it bothers you, to say the least.
You and me accept that.
Alvarado trying to push forward again.
Box out.
Who did you think was going to be the aggressor in this fight?
They're both the aggressor, but of course you got to edge it out to Alvarado. But Gutiérrez, he said he learned from the first fight. He learned that that's exactly where he went wrong. He needs to pick his moments when to get aggressive, and he's doing that right now.
Running jab for Alvarado.
Break.
I'd like to see a few more uppercuts from Gutiérrez. They were the most successful punches for him in that third round. And caught Alvarado.
Sweeping left hook there for Alvarado.
Break.
After that second knockdown, he looked like he was in so much trouble. His foundation was rocky. His eyes were clear, but like I said at the time, his body just wasn't really cooperating with him. But Gutiérrez couldn't get him out of there, ran out of gas at the end of the round, and this is where we are right now with the Nicaraguan pushing forward and landing more punches.
In that distance, he can't get lazy. It's going to only take one punch from Alvarado to change the tide.
Yeah, but that cut's in a bad place for Gutiérrez. It's bleeding right now to the left of that eye, but if Alvarado hits it a couple more times, it can open up quickly right over that eye.
The judges are human. They look at a guy's face, they see blood streaming down it, Vaseline dripping off, his face is red. Looks like he's getting beat up, even if he's not perhaps as damaged as he appears. But he is damaged because Alvarado has not stopped punching.
And it looks like Alvarado's catching his second win. Putting a lot more pressure on Gutiérrez. And that's what I want to see from Gutiérrez right now. Smother the punches of Alvarado. Hold on if you have to.
After René Alvarado's loss to Yuri Gamboa back in 2017, Alvarado and his manager met with Golden Boy and basically pleaded with them, please keep us under contract, we won't let you down. He hasn't lost since and became a world champion. Sometimes all we need in life is a second chance, and Alvarado has made the most of his.
Right? No.
Felix Alvarado, the twin brother of René, fought in the last bout, winning by knockout over a very determined and tough DJ Creel. Let's see if the twin brother can get a victory as well. We're in round 7, scheduled for 12. WBA super featherweight title on the line. Alvarado the champ, Gutierrez in the purple, the challenger.
Good round so far for Gutierrez, putting his punches together a lot more than since we've seen it in that third round.
Break. No.
There's that uppercut, sneaky uppercut again right there by Alvarado.
Box out.
Good note here, Gutierrez has never scored a knockout after round 6. His power is fleeting as we prepare to go into the 8th, and a nice left hook counter for René Alvarado.
Stop. Thank you.
We are in round 8, scheduled for 12. It's been a very close contest. Hard fought. Let's send it to a man who knows a little bit about these blood and gut warrior type of battles. Ricky Hatton over in the UK. What are your thoughts, champ?
Stop.
Yeah, the fight, it's very, very intriguing fight. It's totally at the Barrett. I mean, Alvarado is going to probably kill himself tomorrow that he never took, finished the fight when he had the chance, and now Alvarado has got straight back into the fight. Gutierrez is doing some good stuff. I don't know if his confidence is totally gone, or he might be saving himself for a big push down the home straight because he's having his successes. But at the minute, Alvarado's bossing it, I think, at the minute.
I think Ricky meant Gutierrez is going to kick himself tomorrow if he doesn't finish or get this win, because he had those 2 knockdowns, and I agree totally with Ricky Hatton. When you let those knockdowns pass, and I've been there before, you never get them back. It's a time where you could have been a world champion and just stepped on the gas.
Well, to defend Gutierrez a little bit, he did step on the gas. He just ran out of gas at the end of that round.
Yeah, the last 90 seconds of that round were completely different than the first half.
Stop. No.
And since those 2 knockdowns, Gutierrez hasn't really had that oh wow moment. Although Alvarado seems to have landed more big punches, big power shots that have affected Gutierrez. Most notably the one that busted his eye open. Again, Gutierrez, as you see on his trunks, with a big heart, dedicating tonight's performance to his late mother who died of cancer after a long battle in November.
Stop. No.
Death like that can motivate a fighter. We all fight for something, and anytime I hear tragedies like that, I always think of James Buster Douglas before Mike Tyson.
Good point.
Where his mother had passed, I think it was a week or 2 before that, and he had the greatest night of his life.
What could be a double-edged sword, as you know. It can inspire you to greatness, or it can almost weigh you down, the emotion that you carry into the ring with you.
Gutierrez tried that right uppercut again. This time Alvarado blocked it. I think about Alvarado's hip to that uppercut now. Gutierrez should come around with a right hook instead of the right uppercut now.
Break.
10 seconds left here in round 8.
Back-to-back quieter rounds for both fighters.
Stop.
Has been knocked out. Obviously, Lomachenko managed to put him down.
We've all been down, but he hasn't been out.
Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora ringside, along with Chris Mannix, Kate Abdo, and Gareth Davies and Ricky Hatton on the other side of the pond. We'll get a look at Gareth and Chris's scorecards soon. They couldn't have been any more different the last time we checked them out. Let's see if we have a little more parity.
Break. Don't punch. No.
All right, Chris, how do you have it scored through 8 full rounds?
I think Roger Gutierrez started to do some better work over those last 2 rounds, landing some cleaner shots. Alvarado slowed down a little bit, so I've got it even up 75-75 in this fight. Big opportunity still for Gutierrez, but he's got to get more active to try to take the title away from Alvarado.
We'll hear from Gareth in just a minute. Chris Mannix has it all square. Does it feel like that kind of fight for you, Sergio?
Well, with those 2 knockdowns, I would probably think Gutierrez will be up 1 or 2 points, but I could see how it's close like that. But either way, I think Gutierrez is either biding time and saving some energy for the later rounds, or René Alvarado has found a second gear here and pushing the fight to Gutierrez.
All right, without further ado, we send it over to the UK, where Gareth Davies gives us his scorecard.
I don't disagree with the gents over there ringside, but you know what? I think Alvarado is pushing forward more and being the aggressor in this fight. Ricky and I are watching this very intently, and like Chris, I've got it 75 apiece after 8 rounds. It's a very close fight, but for me, Alvarado is the aggressor right now, and I think if he continues this way, he will take the fight. But what a fight it is. It's a brilliant fight to start the year.
I do like that Gareth and I have the same scorecard, but outside of that 10-7 round, I don't think we've scored one exactly the same at this point.
Sergio, which person would you tend to believe when scoring a fight? Chris Mannix or Gareth Davies?
Whenever it comes to something like that, I always go with whoever dresses better, and that's Gareth Davies. Better style.
That's a tremendous criteria, Sergio.
Well, don't forget Chris Mannix's spray tan.
Another quiet round by both these fighters. I mean, after the hellacious start of this fight, to go back and fight behind the jab and show discipline like Gutierrez is, it's smart for him to do, but it's also encouraging Alvarado to come forward, put the pressure on, and get these rounds, these middle rounds.
I love the way Alvarado tries to close strong the last 10 seconds, trying to get his late shots in. And another one of those rounds where you can really give it to either guy.
Right. 3 more minutes, keep punching.
What do these two have in store for us? The final 3 rounds. René Alvarado and Roger Gutierrez.
Out, man.
The WBA super featherweight title is on the line.
And it does feel like Gutierrez is letting this fight slip away from him after those 2 knockdowns. This is a championship fight. You have to bring out the champion in you. Alvarado setting up an overhand right by jabbing to the body consistently like that.
No holding. No holding.
Earlier, Gareth Davies said that Gutierrez might have some regrets about not going for that knockout earlier. What regrets would Alvarado have so far through 10 rounds? What could he have done better?
Not get knocked down, but other than that, there's no regrets right now. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He showed the heart of a champion. He's coming forward. He regrouped, and he might be winning this fight. Back in this fight, the momentum shifted. I mean, that just shows courage and championship heart.
Yeah, I don't think Alvarado will have any regrets as to how this fight has played out, at least not up until this point. I mean, he said himself, watching Gutiérrez film, Gutiérrez is a better fighter than the one he faced a few years ago, and we're seeing that advancement tonight.
Box out, man. Right.
Alvarado and his brother Felix are the second twin brothers to simultaneously hold world titles in boxing history. Name the first, Sergio. Twin brothers, simultaneous world champions. Recent times.
Oh, Charlos.
There you go.
There you go.
Jermell and Jermal.
Ooh, that jab stunned Gutiérrez, I think. That was a power jab by Alvarado. Gutiérrez clinching.
The rounds certainly have not been as dramatic, but just as physical as Alvarado and Gutiérrez continue to batter away at each other. And now we get set for the championship rounds live here on DAZN from Dallas, Texas. Well, Alvarado has no knockouts past round number 9, and Gutiérrez has never fought past round 10, Sergio. Uncharted territory for the Venezuelan here as we enter the 11th round.
Uncharted territory in the championship rounds. And this is what I'm talking about, that championship spirit.
Who has the edge here down the stretch, Sergio?
It feels like Alvarado has a little bit more pep in his step and pep in his punch coming forward. It feels like Gutiérrez is comfortable just fighting off Alvarado instead of going forward and trying to push the fight to Alvarado.
The better moments for Gutiérrez in this fight have been when he's on the inside like this. He's been throwing punches. These last handful of rounds, when he's been inside, he's just tied up or leaned on Alvarado. He's got to get back to throwing punches on the inside.
Well, it's interesting. You look at these two guys, and Gutiérrez looks taller, he looks longer, but in fact, it's Alvarado who has a 3-inch reach advantage. Both men still moving pretty well, though. No one's putting their feet in cement and just throwing bombs.
When both fighters are moving well, you're gonna score the fighter moving forward, and Alvarado's moving forward, putting the pressure.
Box out. No.
You can tell both of these men trained extremely hard. They look relatively fresh considering what they've been through, and we're in round number 11.
Gutiérrez told us he was training in the mountains altitude of Medellin, Colombia. He sparred over 130 rounds. I mean, so fatigue shouldn't be a factor here.
Break. Stop.
Gutiérrez just 3 losses. That's a pretty good, whoa, a swing and a miss from the hills there from Alvarado.
Break.
Combination work there for Gutiérrez. Every punch landed counts now. It appears this one will go to the scorecards, and both Gareth Davies and Chris Mannix had it even just a few rounds ago. So anyone can win this fight, hypothetically, with just 2 rounds left.
Break.
10 seconds to go here in round 11. This fight has been spectacular at times. Had some lulls in the action, but both men continue to throw.
Nice. Don't do that. Okay.
3 minutes left. WBA super featherweight title on the line. This is the 12th and final round. Let's hear from Ricky Hatton over in England. What do you think, Ricky?
Well, to be honest with you, it's such a difficult fight to score. All the rounds are very, very close. And you know what, as judges, you don't want to sit on the fence and give them even rounds. But I just think, that Alvarado is the one that's putting the pressure on. And Gutiérrez is on the back foot, throwing 4 or 5 little patter shots to try and nick the fight. But I think Alvarado wants it more. I think, to be honest with you, he's under pressure here, Gutiérrez. He needs a big last round.
That's exactly what I'm feeling at the moment. I think it's on my card as well. Alvarado, I think I've got a couple ahead here. He really has to go.
Excuse me, guys. It was a left hook that sent Alvarado down here in the 12th and final round.
He's got the knockdown. Oh, this is incredible. Absolutely.
So Alvarado's down. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but a huge moment here in the 12th round as Gutiérrez just locked this thing up.
And it was a half hook, half uppercut that caught him. It was a 45-degree punch.
Alvarado has come back fighting before. He needs something magical. He could need a knockdown as well here to keep pace with the kid.
And if you're Gutiérrez, you've got 90 seconds to change your career, to become a world champion and set yourself up with bigger fights and bigger paydays. Huge final minute for Gutiérrez.
3 knockdowns in the fight for Roger Gutiérrez, but will that be enough? Alvarado's done so well in between.
Right.
How aggressive would you be if you're Roger Gutiérrez?
Well, if you're Gutiérrez, you have 3 knockdowns, and I wouldn't get too aggressive. I would end out right now behind the jab, knowing that those 3 knockdowns are half the fight.
Oh no, Sergio, go for broke in a situation like this. The fight, at best, is way too close. You can't rest back. You've got to look for the knockout.
45 seconds for glory. Don't forget Gutiérrez fighting in memory of his mother, who died of cancer just in November. So much emotion being carried into the ring tonight for the kid. And he has delivered with some wicked heavy-handed shots.
Gutiérrez told us, Chris, that's where he went wrong in the first fight. He was over-aggressive and stood in the inside too long with Alvarado. That's what he's not doing this fight, and that's why I think he's more strategic.
Yeah, but that was over 7 rounds. I'm talking about the final 45 seconds.
Here we go. 10 seconds left. Alvarado trying to break the clinch. He knows he needs something dramatic here, but he's not going to get it. There you have it. Do we have a new champion? If you knock your opponent down.
Championship rounds of boxing. We now go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges have the identical score, 113, 112. For your winner by unanimous decision. And the new WBA Super Featherweight Champion of the World from Maracaibo, Venezuela, for Kid Roger Gutiérrez.
And I don't know if you believe in this kind of stuff. He dedicated this performance to
James Buster Douglas, we talked about what he did in Tokyo, Japan with Mike Tyson and that upset after his mother died. Same thing with Roger Gutiérrez here. I mean, this is as best and as emotional as it gets. That's a real fighter right there on Gutiérrez and the new champion.
Congratulations to him. What a war, and salute again to René Alvarado. It takes 2 to tango in a fight like this, and you gotta believe we'll see a trilogy somewhere down the line. It's just too good not to happen.
We're determination, and this is what this sport is all about, Todd.
Gutiérrez, and I'm quoting here, said, if my mom could beat cancer for so long and held in there for so long, why can't I become a world champion in her memory? And that's what he did tonight. Chris Mannix, your thoughts?
I mean, just a gutsy performance by Roger Gutiérrez, back and forth throughout this fight. I look at a young fighter like Gutiérrez, and I see, I don't want to say limitless potential, but a lot of potential. We know, guys, he can crack. 3 knockdowns of René Alvarado. He's got power. As he improves his conditioning, he can be a real force in the 130-pound division.